Did you know that 85% of men can't tell when they're being cheated on? Surprising, right? But don't worry. Today I'm here to share some valuable insights that could completely change how you view your relationship. Before we dive in, if you're eager to become an expert at understanding women and take your love life to the next level, make sure to hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. That way, you'll never miss out on my relationship-saving tips, or even ones that could help you find a new love. Now, let's get straight to the point. Guys, listen closely, because what I'm about to reveal might just help you unlock some of the biggest mysteries about female behavior. Ever heard the saying that women are experts at hiding their true intentions? Well, it's more than just a rumor. When it comes to infidelity, women tend to be much more subtle and strategic than men. While you might leave behind obvious clues when being unfaithful, we women can hide our actions with a finesse that borders on artistry. But don't worry, you're not alone. Today, I'm going to share the 6 common phrases women use when they're cheating, but that most men overlook. Imagine realizing that your partner's behavior has been sending signals all along, signals you may have completely missed. Do you really know what's going on in your relationship? Has your woman ever said any of these 6 phrases without raising any alarms? Stick around, because what I'm about to share could be the difference between continuing to live in the dark or uncovering a truth that might change your life forever. Without further ado, let's jump in. Number 1. So-and-so understands what I'm going through so well. When your partner starts frequently bringing up someone else, especially in a positive or admiring way, take notice. Comments like, "So-and-so understands what I'm going through so well," may seem innocent, but they often carry more meaning than meets the eye. This kind of statement might signal that she's starting to form an emotional connection with this person, building a bond that could deepen over time. It's not just about comparing, it's about subtly planting the idea that someone outside the relationship gets her in ways that you might not. This could be the beginning of an emotional or even physical distance as she looks for comfort elsewhere. If you notice that she's constantly comparing you to this so-and-so or showering them with praise, it's worth investigating who they are and what role they play in her life. Pay attention to these signs. They can help you get to the heart of the issue and protect what's left of your relationship. Number 2. Don't worry, I'm just going out with some friends. On the surface, "Don't worry, I'm just going out with some friends," sounds like a harmless, everyday statement. But when it's said too often, or paired with strange behavior, it might be hiding something more. People who are up to something they shouldn't be often use simple, believable excuses to cover their tracks. This phrase is a perfect example of that. It's meant to keep you relaxed and unsuspecting, while she engages in activities that might not be so innocent. If this becomes a go-to phrase and you start noticing inconsistencies in her stories or gaps in what she's telling you, it's time to pay closer attention. Frequent use of this excuse and a lack of clarity in her explanations are often signs that something more is going on. Don't let it slide. Staying alert to these subtleties can help you maintain the trust and honesty in your relationship. Before we continue, here's something to think about. Have you ever imagined sending a simple text to a woman that triggers an uncontrollable desire to be with you? Just from a single sentence? You're probably wondering, what kind of message is this? These secret messages are designed to tap into her mind, making her think about you constantly, even if she has a boyfriend or just sees you as a friend. Warning: if you use this message, she might quickly become obsessed, desperate to see you, and eager for your attention. If you're not ready for her to fall for you hard, it's best to avoid using it. But if you're curious, click on the first link below to download these magnetic messages that will have her dreaming about you day and night and counting down to your next date. I need more space for myself. When your partner says she needs more space, it can initially sound like a healthy request to create some balance in the relationship. But sometimes, There's more to this statement than meets the eye. In certain situations, this desire for space could be a way to quietly distance herself, possibly to spend more time away from home with someone else, all while keeping suspicion at bay. This plea for space might be a subtle way to carve out opportunities for behaviors that don't quite align with the trust and commitment expected in a relationship. While wanting personal space can seem like a reasonable need for individuality or self-growth, if it starts to translate into emotional or physical distance, something could be off. Pay attention to whether this space leads to activities you're not part of or creates noticeable changes in her interactions with you. Be mindful of the possibility that this space might turn into avoidance, which could affect the connection between you two. I'm working late tonight. A classic excuse, I'm working late tonight, often seems like a logical explanation for being away from home. However, if you start hearing this repeatedly, it's time to take a closer look. While it might sound innocent, it can also be a cover for something much deeper and more concerning. When this reason becomes too frequent, it's important to pay attention to the little details. Saying she's working late could be a smokescreen for secret meetings or long absences, possibly signaling a more hidden agenda. Watch for changes in her routine or how she reacts when you ask about these overtime hours. Inconsistencies in her stories and an overlap between these extended work periods and other unusual behavior can provide critical clues. The way she responds to your doubts might just reveal what's really going on. I think we need some time apart. When a partner suggests taking a break, it can sound like a thoughtful attempt to work through relationship issues. But more often than not, the meaning behind this phrase is much more complicated and possibly alarming. Asking for time apart often creates emotional and physical distance, making it easier to explore connections outside the relationship without the constant presence of a partner. Sometimes it's used to test the waters and gauge your reaction, or as a way to ease any guilt she may feel if she's involved in something more questionable. If this suggestion comes up suddenly, without any prior conversations about needing space, it could be a red flag. A change in behavior or the frequent mention of needing space can be a sign that there's more happening beneath the surface. You deserve someone better than me. Hearing "you deserve someone better than me" can carry a lot of emotional weight. It might seem like she's being humble or reflective, but often this statement hints at deeper feelings of guilt or regret. In some cases, it can even signal that she's been engaging in questionable behavior and is trying to justify her actions. By saying this, she might be preparing you for separation, framing the problem as her inadequacy rather than admitting to any wrongdoing. It's a way of shifting the focus off her actions and onto her perceived flaws. What may seem like self-awareness could, in fact, be a way of acknowledging guilt without outright confessing to infidelity. If you hear this phrase, don't overlook its underlying meaning. It may point to something much more complicated going on behind the scenes.